Hello, I'm ABX2Cat and welcome back to another second channel video. Today I have a vlog for you all, which you can probably already tell, and today I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about a lot recently and which I'm kind of passionate about because there is this recent trend on YouTube of drama channels, and you know, it used to just be, the biggest one of course is Drama the Name. It used to just be, you know, like one channel out there, but it's recently become a whole genre of channels. There are a bunch of different channels, all of which getting hundreds of thousands of views per video, all of which getting, if not millions, all of which getting massive amounts of subscribers a month. Basically, there is a genre on YouTube of drama channels for me, and this is a really terrifying thing. And at first glance, it really does seem like a good thing. The reason people watch these is because they think it's kind of a good thing. Because one, people love to see, you know, drama people and gossip and whatnot. But two, you might look and be like, wait a minute, these channels are exposing, you know, pedophiles in the YouTube community. That's a good thing, right? Are you pro pedo toy cat? No, I'm not saying I'm pro pedo at all. I'm not pro anyone doing anything they shouldn't be doing. But what I'm definitely anti is accusing people of stuff without any real proof. So where does this fit into the whole thing? Because let me just give you a quick kind of history story here. Basically, the way these drama channels started was just with the one that, you know, did this Twitter hashtag, and every time that, you know, something would happen between two people, like a Twitter feud, they'd post the hashtag, and that way you could watch it. And everybody loves to see Twitter feuds between people, right? Everybody loves to see just feuds in general. We love conflict as humans, and that's why it's a cool thing. Eventually, this turned into a YouTube channel, and these videos would start to get hundreds of thousands of views. So people then eventually realized, as this went on, that maybe we shouldn't, you know, do this publicly on Twitter because, you know, it's going to end up on the show, and we're both going to get a bunch of hate. So obviously this is pretty good for, you know, the public in general and the people who make the videos, but it's terrible for the people who make the drama videos, or the person at the time, because, or it might be people, but, you know, the person and lots of people, because basically this means that, you know, their source of content starts to dry up. The stuff they can report on gets a lot less interesting because it's smaller channels or it's just less serious drama, and of course that's kind of negative until 2015 rolls around, because 2015's where a bunch of different channels, as far as I can see, started to pop up, and also where they started to go from these two guys are feuding, and here's the kind of overview of the story, so this guy did something terribly wrong, and here's why he did it. So this is a really big jump for them, and as a channel, it's a smart move to make. If you look at these videos, they're all getting millions of views, and obviously millions of views turns into some pretty decent bank, and if you look at the millions of view videos, you want to make more of those, and if you look at these channels as a whole, they're making massive views because people love to see someone did something wrong, and they love to see an exposure, right? Like, don't you love to know that this person did something wrong? If I came out and said that insert massive channel here was actually a mass murderer, you'd be like, oh, I'd love to know that story. And this is why people watch the channels. They love to see people exposed, because in your head, you can justify it as a good thing. I mean, if they're doing something wrong, they deserve to be exposed, right? But again, that's kind of not entirely how it works. So let me just again clarify, when these people are exposed, I know at least one of these people that has been exposed has done something terribly wrong, that is kind of an okay thing. I mean, they to some extent do deserve the psychological abuse, because you're going to get like 10,000 negative comments all come at once, your video's going to be dislike bombed, and you're going to have to turn off all ratings, you're going to have to turn off all comments. You'll see this a lot on a lot of channels. But you deserve that if you did something terrible, right? Well, I mean, not always entirely, right? Because first of all, if you've done something like, you know, the pedophile example, you don't deserve to have your channel bombarded and to have your income source hurt and to have your livelihood basically kind of damaged. You deserve to go to prison. That's what we've agreed, that, you know, there is a prison term for that. And instead of making a video exposing them as like, oh, how about you go to his channel and do this? Because they don't deliberately say that, but that's what happens, and they know that's what happens. Instead, they just make a video saying this person did that. That's not, if you truly believe they did it, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But let's assume in their heart they just want to get the news out there. Then maybe someone from, like, you know, the FBI sees it, and then they'll get this thing done, because that's what a lot of you know, like a lot of people I speak to will say something like that. But the truth is that doesn't really hold up. I mean, imagine if I heard a crime in real life, I heard that Jim murdered someone. Instead of looking into it or telling the police, I just tell Harry that Jim murdered someone. Harry goes to Jim's workplace and harasses him outside. That's not a system that works at all, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, even if you assume these stories have a 70% success rate, which can't be correct, it's got to be a lot lower, but 70% success rate, you know, 70% of the time they call someone out and they destroy their channel, it's correct. That still means 30% of the time you're trashing people's channels and their livelihoods in so many cases because you had a rumor about it. And bear in mind that this whole time while you make these videos, you are making good money. So these drama channels making massive money. You don't need to be, you know, a YouTuber to know that getting hundreds of thousands of views a video adds up to quite a bit for them, and they know that if they can have the big scoop on this YouTuber did this terrible thing, they get one of those million view videos, and they know that that makes this. So that where this gets absolutely terrifying is when they hear a big rumor that this person did that. If it seems somewhat plausible, instead of trying to find more proof and proving it with something, they say to the YouTuber, well, prove you're innocent because we've got this massive piece of proof. And this might sound like it's a good idea, because then the YouTuber, if they're innocent, they can prove it, right? No, we as humans decided a long time ago that the way our legal system works is it's innocent until proven guilty, right? You are innocent until someone proves you're guilty. If Jim says I murdered someone, I don't just go to prison for 20 years until they can prove it. And if they do, then I have to, say that I haven't. Whereas the system these guys are employing is, well, it kind of looks like you did, so I guess, either come on the show, give me more money and defend yourself, or don't come on the show and I'll declare that you murdered someone. And that's absolutely terrifying, as if you know the legal system at all. And again, it sounds kind of justified because when you look at the situations in real life where there's the person that probably murdered the guy, but you can't prove for a fact that he did, and they get off. That sucks to hear, but you got to think about the times where they didn't murder the person and did it, and that's what happens in these drama channels. They are destroying livelihoods, and a lot of the time it does come out later that they have. So there has been at least 2 situations in the past year. The last one is the most tragic. So if you don't know the story, basically one of these big drama channels came out and said that this 60-year-old guy that was streaming RuneScape, they said that he was a pedophile, and for the next several hours his Twitch channel was bombarded with people coming in and saying that he'd done this terrible thing, and basically telling him absolute what you'd say to a pedophile. And he cried on stream, shut down the stream, do all that stuff. Then a few hours later it came out that the story wasn't legit, and the way they had worked out the story was legit. This is their burden of proof needed to create the video to try and destroy someone and emotionally abuse them, was that one of their staff members, they hadn't checked it themselves, one of their staff members had looked at a photo of a pedophile, compared it to the guy, and said they looked close enough. What is that? What is that system? Why are you going to do that to someone? And bear in mind that the standard of proof for a lot of these things is going to be the same, if not lower. And then bear in mind you're ruining these people's livelihoods. And then bear in mind these people, their real lives can be hurt. I know situations in real life where people in the Air Force, it's a big one from a few years ago. A guy in the Air Force got expelled because, one guy decided to troll and kick him out because they thought he'd done something terrible. Just think about all of this stuff and realize that, as it turns out, maybe it's not such a good idea that these drama channels exist. But if we put that to the side for now, if we ignore innocent until proven guilty, if we say no, it's fine, people should have their livelihoods destroyed if they're accused of suing something, because they probably did, and I think that's an okay opinion to have. I disagree strongly with it, but then bear in mind the knock-on effect of all these big channels. So bear in mind that there's lots of these big ones, but there's also small ones starting. These small ones might not even necessarily believe what they're doing is correct, but they're going to have even lower standards of proof. It's going to get worse. But then also bear in mind that because everyone is looking for the inside scoop. There is, let's say 50 channels right now, all wanting to have that next big story for them and be first. It's like in real life, where everyone wants to break the story, but because they're YouTubers and they're not big news organizations that need to be held accountable, they can just publish a story. They hear a rumor that this guy did something, they see a screenshot, the screenshot's proof, and then they publish the video, and then they destroy someone's livelihood over this. And because people are always looking for this inside scoop, now YouTube has turned into this absolutely terrifying place where if someone just accuses you of something, you might just randomly have your stuff destroyed. Tomorrow someone could say, Toycat, I have this proof, I've got this screenshot right here where I don't know what you say to him. He extorted me for money, and then that's going to be destroy me. But then, if someone does something like, if they say, Toycat is this or Toycat is that, I have to go on their show. I have to give them views just to defend myself, and even then, a lot of people aren't going to agree, and my channel's going to be hurt anyway. So this is something that's terrifying as a YouTuber. Basically, these channels exist to, I don't want to say it's leeching up other channels, but there is a genuine thing that they're trying to attach onto. Everybody loves to see this drama stuff, but they've turned it into a level where it's just accuse people of a thing, hope they come on your show. If they don't, you get views either way. And even bear in mind, even if they do have to eventually say we did something wrong, which has happened before, they get double views because they get views on the video, then they get views on the apology video, and it's just an absolutely terrifying situation to be in. But as a YouTuber, even as a subscriber, you got to think about this. I mean, just some YouTubers you might like. So if we look at Yami Mash, for instance, so I'll name this guy because I have no idea who he is, and I think it's one of those cases where no one has any idea what's up there. Look at that situation and then say, okay, so we've got a guy with 1 million subscribers. There was this person that came out saying this, and then he says this. Well, I mean, although those two things don't entirely match up, which we can believe, and you know it's split down the middle, nobody knows, but yet he is going to be harassed, and his family is going to be harassed, and all these people are going to be harassed for a very long time, and the point I'm just trying to raise here is YouTube's terrifying. As a viewer, it's gonna be. It's not terrifying, I'd say, as a viewer, but it's terrible. We have a legal system that no one's bothering to use, because if these guys actually got proof, you should go to the police. Okay, so if there's a pedophile in the Minecraft community, or in the YouTube community as a whole, but let's just say Minecraft, because that's the big story everyone likes to tell, then you should go to the police with it. That's what you should go to. You shouldn't make a video on it. You shouldn't make a quick $500 or $1,000 or whatever. You should go to the police. If you believe there is something legally done wrong and something that morally wrong done wrong, don't go and make a video about it, because one, you're breaking the law yourself. I think you could be countersued for slander if it does turn out to be not true. But two, if you genuinely have proof, do something good, or at least do something good and make the video. You could get a better video out of it. But no, we'll stick to making videos about it and trying to ruin people's channels over nothing. So I hope you did all enjoy today's video. I know it sucks to be on the anti-popular video side, but that's why I don't like drama channels. I'll admit, every now and then I want to pop in a video and I'll be like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. But as a whole, drama channels are this toxic trend on YouTube. It sucks to be a YouTube creator at this point because, like I said, just could pop out of nowhere. And it's terrifying to think about, but let's just hope that at some point let's just hope that YouTube takes action at some point, because YouTube is being affected negatively by themselves by this, because, you know, these channels being trashed, even the people who generally did something wrong, it hurts YouTube in the long run, and that's what I hope happens at some point. In reality, what's going to happen is one of these guys is going to get sued, and then the standards will have to raise, but it's going to take a lot of ruined lives to get there, and I don't know, maybe people can't feel good for YouTubers, but to me, it's like, yeah, I can feel the emotional pain of these guys that are going to be wrecked over nothing, and that sucks. That really does suck. So thank you all very much for watching the video. Hope you did all enjoy it. I wanted to try and end on a positive note, but I don't think there is a positive note when it comes to this. Let me know if you like this vlog stuff. If you do, then we could do more maybe. But other than that, I'll see you all in the next one.